Well, I want to start by thanking the fans that were patient with us through the delays. I thought we had a nice atmosphere tonight. I appreciated the fact that they hung around and cheered the team on. I also appreciate the fact that they were waiting for us as we crossed the street tonight. It meant a lot to us as a team. I think it's signs of things to come. And as a program, we got to make sure we're bringing the energy that they're bringing too. Also want to just tip my cap to our nutritionist team. First of all, Julia Baird and her husband Chris, who welcomed their first daughter Lily this past week. And she did such a great job preparing this team through a hot fall camp. And we're happy for them and glad to welcome Lily into the Vanderbilt family. Also to Paige Canfield, who's our football dietitian, who, as Julia took time, as she should, to be a mom, Paige has stepped in as the lead for us and done a remarkable job. And I say that to say, we didn't have a lot of cramping issues. We were well fueled tonight, and we were able to sustain through the game. It was a sloppy game, and we were fortunate to come away with a win. The first credit goes to Timmy Chang, who's done a really nice job advancing that program. It's a prideful team that was fighting for the state of Hawaii tonight, and I want to make sure that I take time here just to recognize all those that are hurting in Maui and recovering, and obviously our hearts remain with them. We competed tonight with Hawaii with great respect for the things that they're going through too. So Hawaii made it hard on us tonight. We can certainly do a lot on our end to clean up our performance. If I was disappointed about anything, it was just feeling like our energy waned through the game, and when we were opening ourselves up for them to take ground, I think it had a lot to do with our performance and the lack of inspiration in that performance that we can correct. And so we like to learn from wins. We're happy to be 1-0, and with that, I'm happy to open up to questions.
Our kind of concern was the O-line, just the inability to run, especially late, to kind of kill off the game, and also some protection issues there.
Yeah, I mean it was not pretty. The sacks hurt, and I felt like offensively when we were on schedule, we were driving and scoring, but when we got behind the chains, we had trouble digging ourselves out of the hole, and obviously our protection issues, and some of those were four-man rush. It wasn't complicated. We got to look at the film and see where we need to enhance, but obviously we need to enhance. I believe in that group of guys. We'll be better. I didn't like, we had, I believe, 3 procedural penalties in the game too. That's not one of the keys to victory for us offensively was to weaponize our operation. And you're jumping off sides, the snap infraction, those things certainly don't help. Obviously, on the flip side of that, when we got them to jump off sides on the 4th down touchdown to London, that's us again playing to our identity and weaponizing our approach. So there's a lot to clean up there, but again, I believe in that group, and we're going to be okay. End of the game, look, it's hard. They're going to load the box up and they're going to pressure, and I think there's 2 aspects of that. One is you have to be able to run the ball when you have to be able to run the ball. So there's a mindset and attitude towards that, and I think there are design elements to that too. We got to look at it as a staff and say, what are the calls, what are the plays that allow us to finish that game off. This is a line that's had success in the run game, and I think we've changed our identity a little bit to get the ball in the perimeter some, but we'll be better, and certainly I believe in that group.
Between the penalties and the blown blocking assignments, the onside kick and stuff like that, do you think your guys took them seriously enough as a football team?
I felt like the way we started, I think if you look at the game, the first quarter and the third quarter, I thought we played strong. The second and the fourth, I thought we left ourselves exposed for them to take ground, and there's a lot that goes into that. I think we want to be obviously a cleaner team than we were tonight, and a more mature team than we were tonight. But I don't believe that, it's game one. It had nothing to do with our lack of respect for Hawaii or in any kind of lack of intention in our preparation. I think it has to do with just growing into being a good team. And good teams are consistent. They're consistent in their execution. They're consistent in their energy. And we're not there yet. And, we were fortunate tonight that we were better than our opponent. But, we're all disappointed because we know we can play better. And, again, we celebrate wins, but I was reassured, as we were kind of meeting as a staff before meeting with the team, that the team sees it the same way. This is not about, beating the opponent. This is about trying to find our highest level. And we didn't have it tonight, and we got to find it pretty quick here.
What did you think were the biggest issues defensively with allowing so many deep passes?
There's a few. Obviously we got the last one there that kind of set up the score was Savion Riley on a vertical route where he's got to be on top of it. And so that's that simple. I think the ball got behind BJ once for a touchdown. And we'll look at that, and I'm sure there's a win early for him there. It's also a pressure situation on 4th and 4, and so he's taught to protect the 6 there, thinking that it's going to be a short route, and they converted and went vertical, and our blitzer ran into the D lineman, so we weren't able to get the pressure, and that's sloppy play. That's not executing the call, and so there's going to be plenty to scrutinize both in the coverage and in the rush, but we'll be better, and that'll be the worst we play as a team, in our first game. Some of the other the throws early in the game were just a matter of us staying on body and the quarterback escaping the pocket and guys coming out of coverage. Like, those things to me are things where we have to be a little more coordinated, a little better structured, and when we do that, we'll be in good shape.
Did you expect to get more four-man pressure in this game, and how important is Darren to that?
He's important. I mean, we'll look forward to having him back, but we kind of shifted gears there in the second quarter and really went to more 3-man rush. This was going to be a game where they were going to try to win throwing the ball in the air, and so we decided to play short boxes and add coverage, and we're successful in doing that. Obviously, up until the end there. So, I think in some ways we designed to be more coverage based this evening, but we need to get more pressure out of the 4-man rush, and some of that is not so much winning one-on-ones, it's collapsing the pocket and pressuring the ball, right? I thought too many times the quarterback found escapes, and sometimes that's a lack of a counter rush, and sometimes that's not getting the quarterback contained. So we'll look at those things, and Darren's an important part of our rush, but we got capable guys in there, and we'll strengthen that and be better.
What did you see out of Duricky tonight, getting those 2 big interceptions?
Duricky's a playmaker, and he's a long, rangy, athletic guy who has really grown as he's spent another year in the system, and both picks obviously were huge. The one in the end zone took points off the board for them, and obviously the one to seal the end of the game meant everything to us. So I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him, and I thought they were strong play for him in other ways too. And so it was a good start for him for sure. I'm sure he'll be looking to build on it too.
Does Quincy Skinner have an injury? It seems like he was playing less, like later.
Yeah, he just had a little bit of a hamstring come up on Wednesday, kind of a cramp almost that I thought was going to limit him for the game. He was able to play obviously a bunch earlier. I thought he had inspired play early, and then just felt it grab on him. I don't think it's going to be anything that's long term right now, but we got to get it looked at and make sure he's going to be good to come back.
Can you talk about AJ's performance? Obviously, he had 3 touchdowns, but there were 1 or 2 throws that could have been pick sixes the other way.
Yeah, we got fortunate. It was sloppy. He's a good player, right? And he creates on the conversion to Gamarion. He throws a nice deep ball. Obviously he and Will connected a few times in that. Jaden McGowan on the sideline, great catch, diving catch there. There's a lot of chemistry built in those. He needs to clean his play up a little bit, and that's going to be about being on time and in location with the ball and getting it out of his hand faster. Some of those sacks to me were more poor protection than him holding the ball too long, but we have good players around him, so his ability to get out in rhythm and get the ball into space. I felt like we were doing that early on, and you saw Chase Gillespie get a couple of catches, and I felt like the RPO game was good. We were able to hit Shep on a couple of those. At times we seem to get out of sync, and game one's always a learning experience, and he'll grow and get better, but obviously he was able to have enough production for us to win the game, and I think we need to celebrate that.
What was the decision to go for 2 in those 2 early touchdowns?
Well, the first one was obviously just felt like we had numbers, and it was built into the design of the play. If we had the numbers, we were going to go for it. And obviously we didn't get it, so in the second one, it was to balance the score back up, and then at that point we decided to kick it from there.
Clark only had 39 rushing yards, like 400 something with his guys last year on a much different team. But how do you rate the identity change offensively? I mean, maybe for 3 touchdowns, do you feel like this was positive, or just a lack of a run game? Is that something you may reconsider moving forward?
The run game's going to look different, and I'd have to look at the stats from a year ago, but obviously we had a quarterback that was contributing to that too, and I know for sure I had one breakout in the run game. When we're on our game offensively, and when we were on our game offensively tonight, we're using short passes as rhythm plays, and those passes will break at times. So we're going to get some one-on-ones in space, putting the ball in the air, and it's in the sense that it's a 4-yard completion on a hitch or an access throw off a run action that can break. It's like a run play for us. Thought we had that early. Thought we lost it a little bit in the second, and then in the fourth, we just. I thought the 4th and 4 that we missed on the sideline was one that we want back. We got to look back at the design of that play, because that's a big moment. They hit the throw to 3 vertical right after that, and that was disappointing. We got to play better complementary football there. But back to your question, I'm not concerned. I think we're right in lockstep with our identity. I think we need to clean it up and polish it up. I think the team we played tonight was much improved from a year ago, and we for sure need to get better, but there's nothing there that I'm worried about.
Does it matter to have a primary back emerge, you think?
I don't think so, just because we're going to have to play 3, and we played 3 tonight. In our league, you're not going to be able to lean on one guy, and when you lean on one guy in our league, ultimately you're going to get a situation where you're dealing with someone that's banged up. So I thought there was positive in Chase Gillespie's play. I thought Cheeks obviously had the touchdown early, which is great. I would like to have gotten back to some of that, the stretch game that we hit the touchdown on. And then Seti Alexander was out there too, and all 3 of those guys are capable. So again, game one, I don't want to tell you that I love 39 rushing yards and that there's not more for us there. And I want to be a team offensively when we have the ball and we can finish the game out. We finish the game out. That's important. I also want to be conscious of the fact that we have a long way to go, and there's a lot to improve, and we'll shift focus to what we can improve moving forward.
One more.
Earlier this week, you mentioned the word grit with the rain delay, and then you guys maybe not having your best but still finding a way to win. Do you feel like your team maybe embraced that a little bit tonight?
Yeah, I think there's positive aspects to take away from that. again, when I look at it, I want to see a certain style of play for an entire 60 minutes, and I felt like we weren't able to do that tonight. And for whatever reason, game day is hard. It's a challenge. That was a good opponent that was fighting hard, and they made it challenging on us. So we got to learn from it. But certainly, I was pleased with the fact that we got through the weather delay, that we came out and we started strong, and there's a lot to build off of from that.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Clark.